GS finals, the best GSL we've had to date, the best players, the best games, and now it's getting interesting because Life won game number 1.
He did.
We both predicted, Artosis and I did, that, you know, MVP had to win this. I mean, he's probably going to win this, but Life has a fairly good shot. Now, I got to say, I'm starting to question myself.
Yeah, it was a strong win by him. MVP, I think he misread the situation. I wouldn't take this too hard, anybody. I think he can learn from this, and we'll see a great series yet to come. This next map, Entombed, should be a pretty decent map for MVP. But a lot of it, I feel, is going to come down to his decision on what strategy to use.
Yeah, I think you're right. MVP's got quite the toolkit, but we call him the game genie Terran because he's just very good at electing the right builds.
He's Batman and Lucius.
Oh, nice.
That's right.
I like that, Artosis.
Yeah.
He's like Batman and Green Lantern.
That too, yes.
Yeah, man, the Green Lantern ring.
It's like the dumbest superhero thing there is.
I think Green Lantern, I don't know much about Green Lantern, but
I don't either.
He's Batman wearing a Green Lantern ring. All right, there we go.
And look at this. Oh my God. Look at these stats here. He would be the youngest champion, the first Royal Roader.
Yeah.
And of course, this would be the first time StarTale wins something. They have like 1 billion second places.
It's true, actually.
StarTale, like an unbelievably good team, but just hasn't been able to finish yet.
Wow. You know, I gotta echo this. To be that young, or to be this young and be doing this well right now is completely and totally insane.
Yeah.
You know, I'm trying to go back and remember what it was like when I was 15.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Your parents probably didn't understand anything back then.
They didn't know. My mom was never 15. She doesn't know what it's like. But seriously, I can't imagine how smart this guy has to be.
Yeah.
We need to study his brain. And also think about this. He's probably been playing StarCraft since he was, basically a baby, Artosis.
I know. God, when he was learning how to use a toilet, I was like grinding on Game Eye in StarCraft 1.
Now here's MVP. Of course, also some very interesting stats.
Look at that. He only has to win 2 more games to get 100 wins in Code S. In Code S! Not just GSL, in Code S. Yeah. And imagine if he wins this. That means like he averages, 20 wins per Code S victory?
Yeah, I guess that was
okay, so you're saying I only have played 20 games to win Code S. Well, how easy?
Another interesting fact we didn't really get to touch on is that MVP, he has a pinched nerve in his spine right now. So he has pain, and when you get a pinched nerve in your spine, that goes all the way into your wrists.
Yeah.
So he's actually, in some of these games, his hands are going numb.
That's true.
Think about that for a second.
Well, that numb, that's what his heart is right now as he destroys the dreams of his opponents' faces.
That is true. That is very true.
Whoa.
This is the trophy for MVP. If he wins this.
G5. That's awesome.
Yeah.
If he wins.
Yeah, if he wins that, he gets that special trophy.
If he doesn't win, that goes back to the GOM studio or the office and gets put in a closet where it collects dust until he makes it into the finals.
Probably.
Because it says his name on it.
Yeah,
so it has
true. That's actually a very good point. Yeah, that probably just goes back to the GOM office.
I'm going to ask him if I can have it if he loses.
I can just see our producer putting that on his desk. All right. We're getting close to entering into game number 2 now. And we believe the map is in Tomb Valley. Take our word for that. Yeah. But, wow. All right, your predictions for this game, Artosis.
You know what? I'm going to go with it's Entombed. I think MVP will open strong. Maybe 2 racks, but maybe not 11-11. And I think that he can pull this one out, especially if they're on the same side of the map.
As you know, Life did say that he expects MVP to cheese at least once.
Yeah. This is a good map for it.
This is a great map for it. This might be the map to do it on.
It may be, which may be why he doesn't do it.
That's true. This is MVP we're talking about. He's pretty meta when it comes to linking his build orders. And, okay, cool, we were right. Good thing we didn't end up looking dumb on international live television there.
Never.
All right, cool.
It would never happen.
Never.
Never, ever.
If you see us
never say anything wrong.
If you see us make mistakes, it's only so we look a little bit more human.
We don't want to scare you guys. You wouldn't like us if you knew that we were perfect humans.
You'd be jealous. Yeah, exactly. All right, guys. Remember, each player needs 4 wins to get out. So they still got a long road ahead. Life has a lead, but not an insurmountable lead.
Well, it's just the first game. Who knows? Who knows? I'm really excited. I just want this game to get started, Tasteless.
Yeah, me too. I think it's going to be starting in a moment here.
Yeah, it looks like it.
So let's get ready. We are here next to Coex Mall in Samsung in Seoul, Korea, hosting the best esports show ever, best gaming show ever, the GSL Code S with Life against MVP. Let's do this.
GSL. Welcome to GSL Intune Valley.
In the bottom left, he's up 1 game. If he wins this series, he will be the first GSL Code S Royal Roader. He is
13 Live.
Wow, it is just so packed.
Many nerds. Here is a shot. Notice he's got that etiquette. Points the pinky out when he plays. Now I know he holds a teacup as well. Thank you for that, Artosis. In the upper right, we have our Terran in the blue. The best at electing the right build orders in the right order. For a series like this, he is
AGIM MVP.
So I want to go back over and talk about, once again, that new trophy that we just saw made for MVP that says G5L, because 5 looks like S.
Now I get it.
Yeah. Basically, in the old days, there's this thing called, for OSL, the golden mouse.
Yes.
Where if you win 3 OSLs, you get a golden mouse. And this is basically, I guess, the GSL equivalent. Because
MVP won 3 GSL so fast, we didn't have time to get that trophy.
But the truth of the matter is OSL does their turns just slightly less frequently. They do normally about 3 a year, whereas with GSL we do 4 or 5 a year.
Yes.
So this actually makes sense because it's the same type of feeling going on right now with MVP as with when someone went for their 3rd OSL, where you're like, is this guy just the greatest thing there ever was? Which is what we're feeling right now. So, you know, that's pretty awesome. There needs to be a cool name for that trophy, though.
Yeah. Called the Tasteless Award.
The Tasteless Award.
As you guys can see here, a little bit of information about how their builds operate on some of these maps. And we're not going to see a proxy like we sort of expected him to do. Again, though, hyper meta stuff here from MVP.
Yeah.
Really hard to predict this guy. Again, last time he won, nobody guessed he was going to cheese that many times.
No, nobody. Which makes it all the more sweet for him, I'm sure. Oh, 6 Zerglings being made. Now this, it looks like Life is kind of blind countering a possible 2 barracks.
Yeah, it looks like that's going to be the case.
Yeah, he got his pull pretty quickly. He made up 6 lings, which you never see someone make 6 lings. And in fact, this
he's making more too.
Yeah, I like it. This is a really good choice. And if MVP just makes non-stop Marines, he'll be able to out-micro these lings, and it's not going to be a big issue.
All right. This SCV is eventually going to die. Oh!
No, he's not.
Wants to live.
You watch.
Oh my god, well, this is interesting. Clearly, statistically, Life, if he wins the first set, or first game, first map, whatever you want to call it, he always wins the series.
All those stats, though, are taken out of best of 3s.
This is also very true, yes, well said. Well, and probably that one best of 5 that he won.
Yes, and I guess you're right. I guess you're right, Tasteless.
Yes.
Unless he lost the first game, but he didn't. Okay. So, 4 queens already for Life. Not surprised to see it. Playing a little bit defensively here. Quick reactor there for the factory.
Yep, he's gone back into making drones. Looks like MVP wants to intercept the Overlord. Is this Overlord moving? Looks like he parked it.
So. Yeah, he's parked it. But MVP's checking just in case he didn't park it. Because this is a no parking zone over the 3rd.
This is very true.
You park there as an Overlord, you will be removed by the Marines.
You will receive a hefty ticket.
Yeah, 100 minerals.
You will have to
and
show
a
up
temporary
before-
supply block.
Oh, that's very true. Now, looks like you can see there was almost a prediction here that perhaps
It'd be Marines.
MVP would send his Marines up there, but
Yeah.
looks like he's lifetime that out just not quite right.
Now,
And now look, he's fanning out these circuits, going all over the map to check for anything that could be hidden.
it's a very smart move. You know, he has all these extra lings, he may as well. Third base is going down, but I love the strategy choice by MVP here. He's decided this map, it's too obvious that 2 barracks is a possibility. That's why he made the 6 lings to start. But MVP is going Reactor Hellions, and it looks like Cloaked Banshee, which is such a good choice, guys, because this third base takes a long time to actually walk to with Queens. So that makes heavy harassment by Hellions and Banshees much stronger. Just a great choice by MVP here. It's standard, it's somewhat predictable, but it's really good, and it's something that he can possibly force into being a big advantage for him.
By the way, guys, it does look like Light is going for basically the same build that he did in game number 1. So you say, well, that worked that time. Why don't we just do it again? See if MVP's going to mix it up.
And the Hellions already coming out and hitting the Queens a little bit. That should give Life a clue as to what could be going on.
And he's going to see the starboard here, and if he just sees this tech lab, he knows exactly what's coming.
Yeah, he sees it even making Cloak, and he saw the third command center as well. So he knows exactly what's going on. Okay, he can throw up spores if he wants them. He's getting his layer so he can make overseers.
I'm curious to see if he's going to go mech after this, or if he's going to switch into Marine.
Yeah, I'm very curious about that as well.
One disadvantage about doing the build that MVP's doing is your tank count is a little bit less in the late game because you're making all those Hellions.
It will be mech, by the way. He just threw up his factories as well as an armory. So he is transitioning into mech, and he's going to do it with Banshees this time, which is a very powerful way to go mech.
Yeah, I like this. First Banshee's out. He will have to back that up. The Cloak is done. Oh, it's not done. Excuse me. Cloak.
He canceled.
Okay. All right.
Wow. Yeah, I guess he did cancel. Huh. Very interesting.
I thought he was just going to let it finish anyways. You know?
Yeah, well, he figures that Life should have the spores up in time, that he's not really going to get the value out of it, and that allowed him to jump up to those 2 factories a little bit quicker, or the second and third factory, rather. That's a lot of lings, Stasis.
That is a lot of lings, and it's going right towards the base here for MVP. But a nicely positioned bunker, hitting these SCVs, though, doing a lot of damage. Now on a stop, Micro.
Yeah, he's hitting these SCVs so well right now.
Yeah.
But how many did he actually end up
I
killing?
couldn't tell how many he killed there, actually.
I don't know how.
All right, 7. Not as much as I would have hoped you could have killed.
Not a giant deal.
No, not a giant
for
deal.
that many lings, not a giant deal, but it's okay. So it looks like we're going to see not mutas, but instead infestors. And against infestors, if MVP goes pretty strongly back into Banshees, that can be really good. You make them use up their energy. It's actually incredibly annoying to play against a lot of Banshees with infestors, unless they clump up and give you a freeze kill, which MVP will never do.
Yeah, he knows that he can't let that happen. Now it looks like the lings are going around again here. He might come in here for another attack. This is the lifestyle we were used to seeing him play with that got him where he was now.
And he's going to get the Marines. The Marines try to get into a decent position. In fact, they do get into a decent position. The wall goes up, but the
Looks like he's
Hellions
going
are
to
back.
block these lings in. The Hellions making quick work of these early spores. Marines coming over here, trying to just get one of these SCVs. I would say this is another failed attack here for Life.
Yeah. MVP's defense is pretty solid so far. Life is not quite used to this. Like against Marine King would have been out on the map with those Marines and the Hellions, and then would have taken damage. That's kind of how that series went, but MVP has learned from this. And, I mean, even look at that unit loss tab, it's really getting one-sided.
All right, so we got the siege mode almost done now. Creep Shred, by the way, doing a very nice job. It looks like he actually misplaced that hatchery. Is that what happened there? So then he just canceled and remade.
Yeah, I didn't.
We got the tail end of that.
Yeah.
So.
All right, well, we do have Infestors on the way. He's getting his Roach Warren. The Roach attack is almost done. Roach/Infested Terran attack. And, well, MVP's starting up his mech army, but this is cross spots on Entombed, which is going to make going mech a lot harder.
All right. Yeah, ideally he'd want to be closer in the upper left or bottom right. More linksmen here now hitting these tanks. The tanks are incredibly important. They're very precious to MVP's army.
And he
he's
might
going to force a cancel. He does.
Oh, so he killed 2 tanks, a couple SCVs, and forced a cancel. That little link attack was worthwhile. Absolutely.
Totally worthwhile.
So Hive inspired this game starting at the same time. We mentioned before it looked like it may have been a mistake that he got the Spire so late in comparison to the Hive in game 1. But this time starting on time is going to really put a clock on MVP because Broodlords are going to be out so quickly.
Yeah, that is very true. And I got to agree with you. I think these positions not that good for meching. And you know what? Life is actually going to go in here and attack again, but I think it might not work because MVP is completely walled in.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a pretty heavy blow here for Life.
Yeah, with that big of a wall,
he'll probably just turn around now.
He might throw Infested Terrans up and try to get the tanks, but I don't know if that'll work. Well, that was a lot of Infested Terrans, and already 1 tank goes down. The Link's trying to get up here.
Looks like he barely didn't kill through the tanks.
I would call that probably a failure right there.
Yeah, me too. All right, so this is a so far been a game where basically MVP is turtled up. He's defending hardcore. Life is constantly trying to kick the front door in and take MVP out. Hasn't worked so far. MVP is in pretty good shape.
He is. He's not doing badly, but the Greater Spire just started. This is a pretty darn quick Greater Spire, and MVP has to react to this. He is making Vikings right now, but you don't really want to sit back too long. You have to get a ton of starports, and you have to decide, are you going to try to just overpower them with Viking Thor? It's going to be difficult to do against so many Fungal Growths.
All right, Hellions now chasing down these Zerglings. Zerglings on the run. And the 4th base has been secured. I like the snake line of tanks here. Able to cover pretty much everything.
Yeah, against ground, he's pretty set against ground.
Yeah, he's pretty much fine. Now also note, if Life does push with Broodlords, one thing you got to be careful about is that this is as far away from the Terran can be from Zerg on this map. Broodlords are very slow, so if he starts to get in bad shape and lose the fight, Broodlords are going to be killed off. They won't be able to get all the way back home. Oh. Nice fungal.
Indeed, and I like what he's doing. He's just trying to get anything done with these infestors he possibly can, knowing that to let them max out on energy and just sit there is a waste.
Yeah.
Now MVP does know, as we just saw, that the Greater Spire is on the way. Expect to see new starports pretty soon. What he's doing is just trying to get as much supply as possible for the attack, and while he's attacking, he should be adding more starports.
All right, he's moving out now. Broodlords are almost out. Nice fungals here. It's kind of hard to say who's actually going to win this right now.
Well, with the Broodlords morphing already, I feel like he's going to be in pretty good shape, but we do have these Vikings. Where is
the
he in the air?
He needs to fungal those Vikings ASAP.
Oh my God, I can't find any Corruptors.
But at the same time, if he gets 1 or 2 more good fungals off.
So true.
Oh my God, I think he will. He just needs 1 more fungal.
That is a lot of red Vikings right now, and they're going to kill off yet another one here. He's just fighting through the Broodlings right now, knowing his ground army is superior, but not enough Vikings.
And once again, he's pushing back. All these siege tanks, MVP in a lot of trouble now. The Broodlings just nibbling on those siege tanks now, driving them back. He is going to have to turn all the way around. The 5th base is up for him. Oh my God, these Zerglings are coming in here now!
No, MVP being surrounded, and that's a huge loss. That piece of his army going to be so expensive to remake. At the same time, he's trying to pump out as many Vikings as is possible, but his mobility factor is gone because he lost so many units.
I can't believe we might see MVP lose game number 2.
It's possible.
It's definitely possible. It hasn't happened yet, but it could happen. Link's moving down now. Note the creep spread is insane. It's almost to MVP's 4th base in the top center.
Well,
and this was one of the reasons why it was so hard for MVP to run away, is that the creep was still there. He was just able to run up there and surround those units because of that speed advantage on the creep.
Yeah, that's so true. The creep spread is just such an important factor in this game as well. But really, MVP was just a few Vikings short during all of that of actually breaking those Broodlords. A huge issue, but he is keeping up the Viking production this time. He's adding a third starport now, and he has a lot of command centers. So he's not down and out yet. His economy is still insane.
MVP is in a position where he's going to have to cut the map in half here.
Yeah.
And hold out. It's going to be a long, arduous uphill battle. Oh, we could force a cancel over there on that command center.
I think he might, yeah.
I think he might. This would be, oh, he does do it. That's so annoying.
So
for MVP.
But the Hellions are going for some counter harassment. Don't forget that 2 can play at this game, and the Army of Life is very slow.
All right, throwing out some invested Terrans here. Again, Life is constantly counterattacking, keeping MVP on his toes. Supply right now is 183 to 150, or 180 actually. So our monitor's a little bit blurry, but can you read that from that distance?
166 for Terran, 197 for Zerg.
All right, there you go. You got better eyesight than me, man. I'm 2025. You must be 2020. Anyways. Nice job. You're burrowing some Zerglings. These are these little things that could start to add up right now for MVP. He throws some lings where the command center needs to land. That's, he's going to have to get his slow, clunky army of the mech over there, scan that, take it out. And by the way, Artosis, I'm going to call this right now. Game number 3, we are not going to see mech, I don't think. I don't think MVP's going to stick with this.
Yeah, you know what? It's Antigua. I could definitely see him switching into some Biotane, even if he ends up winning this. But this is a ton of Corruptors, man. It is so many Corruptors, about 20 out there, 8 Broods, and about 8 Infestors as well. So this is such a powerful army. There are Vikings out. Does he have enough, though? That if the Fungals land well, I can't see him actually killing this.
Yeah, I think this is one of those Doom balls. And looks like we have some SCVs he's trying to get rid of. We have some more supply here.
There's 17 Vikings out, so the thing is, can 17 Vikings take out, and he is about to have 20. 20 against 20, he does have similar upgrades.
He's going to have to...
But the Infestors.
Right, sieging up. He snuck a few tanks over here. Don't ask me how he got that over there, but he did.
Yeah, that was sneaky. Well, it looks like Life has decided it's time to start moving in. He will take care of this, it looks like, with infested Terrans.
Yeah, he's going to clean that up easy peasy.
But he does lose some Infestors because of it.
But here's the real story. Can he stop these Broodlords? There's more Broodlords on the way. And as you can see here, the Corruptors are hitting the Vikings. The Vikings are spread out very, 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 very well here.
What an arc indeed.
That is absolutely beautiful.
That is like 180 degrees of Vikings. Just, there's no way to bungle all those well, so he is eliminating all these Corruptors, and that means that the Broodlords will go down next.
He's got more Corruptors coming up here. He did. He's going to take this out, or is MVP going to save this? More Siege Tanks down here in the bottom center, but now he's trying to put links. They're going to be taken out with ease.
Oh man, down go the Broodlords. He will lose the Siege Tanks, so now he has the air army, and the ground army actually goes to Life. But oh my god, will he save?
He saved the planetary. He actually saved the planetary.
Oh my god.
I was 100% sure at least that was going to be killed, but I was dead wrong.
Even though he ended up killing that off Tasteless, this is still a very hard game for MVP because Life still has those 2 bases in the bottom right, bringing him up to 6 bases. MVP, he's only got the 4, and he's barely mining from 3 of them.
That's very true, Artosis.
So, I mean, he has started a Raven production, which means he's looking to bring this into a super long game, and that's the right thing to do. There's no way to go
He's going to have to stall. He's going to have to stall.
He can't kill him right now. It's just not going to happen.
All right, more Hellions coming over here, trying to see if they can get any drones. There's going to be more links to greet him, though. Nice surround. Destroying those Hellions. And I'm sure these things are going to come up here, and just take out these Hellions as well.
Not as effective as he would have hoped with those Hellions. Even Hellions at this point, he has to be very careful with where he actually sacrifices them. By the way, 7 Ultras on the way against someone who has, what is this, something like 13 to 15 Vikings and 4 Ravens.
Well, you know, the Ultra tech switch is just so good. You force them into making Vikings through the Brood Lords, switch right into Ultras, and the Vikings just become useless.
The Ravens aren't even that good against them.
No, they're not.
You really have to have a heavy siege tank army, some Thors mixed in sometimes, some Hellions, and that's really what he doesn't have. He was sacrificing those in little counterattacks.
Ultras are very strong against Mech in general.
They are, yeah.
They're just, you can't really out-micro a bunch of Ultras with Mech. You know? It's like with Marines, you can stem and kind of spread out. All right, here we go.
And this is so much damage being put out there. These Ultras just getting through everything. He's going to have to repair this planetary massively. He's killing off a lot of the Ultras, but damage has been dealt.
Can he get the planetary? That's the staple location that MVP can't afford to lose. More links coming up. I don't see enough SCVs repairing Artosis.
No, he's definitely losing that. And down it goes. A beautiful bust there by Life. And in fact, he's going to push even further forward. These Vikings not being useful in the least.
Next stop over here for Life is the upper left location near the expansion. It is guarded by a planetary, but I know it's not very clear if there is enough here to repair that planetary and keep it alive. It's getting lower. Links filling up here now.
Well, even though it looks like he's held tasteless, 12 infestors are about to pop out for like 12 infestors.
And he's going to get the planetary too. Goodbye.
Oh, God. Just totally brutal at this point. MVP is looking like he's dead. The guy is barely mining whatsoever. I mean, Life looks like he's just done it already.
I think actually MVP is lost. I don't foresee him coming back from this. There it is. GG. Whoa. Life did it again. Damn.
I tell you, this is like a Britney Spears song, man. Oops, Life did it again.
He broke MVP's heart.
Got lost in the game.
That innocent.
Life isn't innocent at all.
No, man. His fingerprints are all over this crime scene, Artosis.
MVP right now is like, am I not going to win that special trophy with my name on it?
Yeah.
He might not, man.
I can see MVP going up to the GOMTV later and be like, hey, can I just have the trophy? And we're going to be like, no! Not unless you win.
Slap his hands with the ruler when he goes to touch it.
Yeah, man.
This is rough for MVP right now. Okay, those first two maps should not have gone that poorly for him. First map, I understand, like, okay, you kind of messed up. You didn't make your
If I remember right, map 3, 4, and 5 were maps that Life was pretty strong on.
You know, I think a couple big parts of this one, some of his little harassment bits where he sent tanks all around the map, that stuff looks like stuff that maybe worked in his practice games against like Lucero, Nesty, or whoever.
Yeah.
Not against Life.
Well, Life has got his own way of playing the game.
Life has so many lings out, and he has just so many lings out that there's just no way to attack with small groups of units. I feel like you have to deathball Life.
He is so ling heavy.
Yeah.
And he's also he did a great job counterattacking while he was taking the 5th and 6th base.
Yeah.
Just keep staying in MVP's face.
Oh, this is going to be so difficult for MVP to come back for this part because, yeah, next map's Antigua. He should be able to take that. If he doesn't take Antigua, it's over already. I don't have faith at all in him coming back if he doesn't take Antigua because up 3-0 with still the best map Whirlwind to come, yeah, Life is going to be unstoppable at that point.
Yeah, I mean, either MVP is going to have to win on Whirlwind. I don't know how you do that. How do you do that, Artosis?
You ask Rion.
Oh, that's a good point. Unfortunately, they're not teammates. Again, guys, it is packed in here.
There's our butts.
Those are our butts. You gotta shake that, Artosis. Give a little shake. Yeah, it's just dancing up there. So, this is... We're not mature people.
No.
As you can see, right now, MVP in a lot of trouble. We saw the entire team that's down here to support MVP in the booth.
Seriously.
Probably saying, okay, what's going on?
Well,
you can do this, MVP. And the funny thing is, normally it's the opposite. Normally the coach is just leaving MVP alone in the booth.
Yeah.
And then, it's somebody like Life's coach is in there talking to him this whole time. But this time we had a bunch of those guys going in there, probably saying, what's going on, man? You can do this. Just stay focused.
Yeah. Well,
I'm sure they probably all agree, don't go back anymore. This doesn't work against Life.
They may have, yeah. The Broodlord timings that he's coming out with are a little bit too awkward. The low Viking counts that he's having those first engagements give him such a superior ground army, but it's like he doesn't even need it, and then he starts throwing it away in the later game. He's got, if he wants to go mech, he has to make some changes in how he's doing it.
All right, guys, it's almost time for game number 3. Life and MVP. Is Life going to do this? If Life wins game number 3, I don't know if MVP has a snowball's chance in hell. All right, guys, so get ready, because the game is now loading. Is Life going to win this, or is MVP going to come back? We're going to find out soon here at the GSL Code S Finals.